They've met since 1960, and look for this man, Qadry Ismail, the big play guy, 8 career touchdowns, average freshman of the year. Eric Zeier, 4 interceptions, 286 attempts. Missouri and
from between the hedges. 100 years they've played college football here, and today the Tennessee Volunteers, who are roaring on to the field at Sanford Stadium, will be their opponent. How about that dog? Unveiled here a short time ago, and now it's the Georgia Bulldogs. So ABC Sports welcomes you to college football. It's a key CFA matchup in the Southeastern Conference. The Georgia Bulldogs hosting the Volunteers of Tennessee. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brett Musburger. That'll get you ready for college football, won't it? Tennessee and Georgia's a big one. Familiar face missing on that Tennessee sideline. Johnny Majors is home, recovering from heart surgery. Philip Fulmer, now the interim coach. We asked him if he was intimidated by the job.
It really hasn't been an intimidating situation. I've been preparing for this, and I think Coach Majors has worked at preparing me for this. Coach Majors is very good about letting assistants be involved in decision-making.
Well, Dick Vermeil, concerned to that entire Tennessee coaching staff, the big play fellas for Georgia's offense.
Eric Zeier, the freshman quarterback of a year ago, had a great year last year, and he comes on this played last week. Didn't meet expectations. A lot of pressure on him, but he can do it all.
Here today, Dick.
Well, Heath Schuler runs their offense, and they don't have the receivers that they've had in the past, but Heath can get the ball to 3 talented people, and just because they're not NFL prospects doesn't mean they're not fine college football players. They give the ball to 3 different tailbacks, they spread you out across the field, and they move the ball.
All right, so they are ready to get it on down here in Athens, Georgia. Southeastern Conference football. Tennessee kicking off to Georgia. Underway in Athens. Graham. Fumble. Tennessee recovers. There was a miscommunication between Hastings and Graham. Watch as Graham comes upfield. He cuts at about the 20 and puts it down on the ground, and Tennessee with an opportunity to start the game.
Brent, that's one reason I never like to have a wide receiver as a kickoff return man. They're not used to running the football like a running back is.
Heath Schuler, the Tennessee quarterback. Faulkner was the motion man. And straight ahead with their tailback, Aaron Hayden, number 24. Here's the young man who's expected to take over this Tennessee offense, Heath Schuler. Now they'll rotate back there at that tailback spot. 3 good ones. Aaron Hayden is the starter, but we will see James Stewart and Charlie Garner before the day is over. Mike Stoll leads this offensive line. The weights are on the right-hand side, and it will become a good one as this season moves along. This is one of the best coached teams in all of college football. It's young, however. 2nd and 5. Now the toss to Hayden, looking for daylight. Out of bounds, first down, Volunteers. Defensively, Georgia under fire on the first series because of the botched kickoff. It is 1st and goal for Tennessee. to the 3. Mitch Davis with the tackle.
They tried a little counter action that way to get the linebackers flowing one way, then brought them back. They did react quick enough to come back and stop from getting the end zone, but they still made the 4 yards, Brent.
Fulmer. Now the pressure of making all the big decisions. Second and goal at the 2.
Good penetration.
Good. Will he use 2 downs for a touchdown, or will they kick a field goal if they fail? He has to be ahead of the process. Third now and goal for Tennessee. Schuler slips down. He has a new holder this year, Lance Wheaton. Mark Holland is the snapper.
He was kicking real well in practice.
And good in the game, a 24-yarder, and Tennessee scores first after the fumbled kickoff.
Boy, I tell you, turnovers kill you at any time, but when you turn it over down in that end of the zone, that end of the field, boy, you're asking to get beat. Again, a wide receiver carrying the football as a running back would, you know, and then he gets it out there. Wide receivers catch the ball and run with it, yes, but they aren't drilled every day on the practice field like a running back is to tuck it under in those intense situations.
One-time quarterback at Georgia. Replaced Vince Dooley, the legend here.
They're lucky they only got out of there with giving up 3 points. That was a short field to start on. You know, I had a lot of time to spend with Ray Goff this week, and he said this is an excellent character football team, and they're trying to keep their fundamentals and their schemes simple enough so they don't have to think too much and detract from their character and their desire to play hard.
Now, the key will be the communication with Graham, the freshman, and Hastings, the big play man. The kicker's left. All things being equal, Georgia would prefer that he handled the kickoff. Tennessee, though, with another idea. And they are keeping it away from him. This is Graham from the 8 in the sideline, and he is out at about the 20-yard line. So Eric Zeier, the freshman of the year of the SEC, comes out.
Offsides on Tennessee, Brent, and the coaches here on the Georgia sideline are signaling to
the Volunteers with a first and goal from the 6, settling for a 24-yard field goal of the afternoon, and keeping it in Graham's hands and out of Hastings. Graham battles to the 29, so they gain 9 following that penalty. Right now, let's check in with New York, and here's John Saunders.
North Carolina State in Maryland, and Maryland with a chance to win this game. John Kaleo looking for Richie Harris.
A surprising challenge on the part of Maryland, but NC State, a surprise team in the ACC. Garrison Hurst and Max Strong are the running backs, and this is Hurst stepping in motion. Zeier on first down, forced out by the Tennessee defense, throws complete. Andre Hastings works his way back for the reception. Now Hastings, 9-yard gain on the first down completion. Hurst, first down, slips free to the 45-yard line. Ben Talley wraps him up. Backfield and couldn't bring him down. Zeier looking for the screen, sets it to Hurst. Hurst at the 40. And hit beautifully at the 37. Coming over was Tavio Hinson, number 28.
37-yard line.
Jeff Tullis, number 38, when you bruise. And now Georgia with a 2nd and 2 at the 37. Hurst on a simple cut to the left for the first down, and Reggie Ingram tackles him. It is amazing that these two states, which border each other, have not played any more than this. Yet that is the series record. The last game back in 1989 won by Tennessee in Knoxville. And now, since the SEC has been split into 2 divisions, Both Tennessee and Georgia are in the East, and they will meet each year, and this is destined to become a huge rivalry. The Dogs gave up an early field goal on a turnover, trying to climb back in it now.
Coming after him with the blitz. They picked it up.
Complete to Graham. Graham slips a tackle, and he is out of bounds at the 23. Let's go down to the field. A homecoming for a Georgia graduate, Julie Moran. Julie?
Well, thanks a lot, Brent. But I tell you, these have been trying times for Tennessee. Of course, Johnny Major's heart surgery was a major blow. But just weeks before that, Tennessee lost their head trainer, Tim Caron, who had been in Tennessee since 1977. And the players today are wearing a shamrock with the name Tim on each helmet in honor of Tim today.
Julie, thank you. He was very popular with the athletes and everybody up there in Knoxville. This is Hurst, and Tennessee uses George Kidd, one of their linebackers, to make the tackle on him at the 15-yard line. But again, this is going to give Georgia, so they'll win their opener and head to Knoxville. Zier tossing to Hurst. Hurst cut off on that left side. Well defended that time. And number 58, Todd Kelly, is the big play guy for Tennessee.
And talking with the coaches about him last night, they say he really is the big-time player that in that defense. Now, the defense is inexperienced, but they are talented. And when you watch them play, you can recognize that they can all run.
On third down, this is Hurst, and he is short of the first down. Jeff Tullis comes up big for the Volunteers. Now it will be Georgia's turn, and Andrew Chadwick, number 26. The youngster trots onto the field, and he will attempt the field goal. The punter Armstrong puts it down, and we're tied at 3. A 32-yard field goal. Peterson, the kickoff man. Davis runs up, now lets it bounce once. Davis looking for a hole on the right side, and he powers his way to the 30-yard line. And a reminder that Monday, the Volunteers and Heath Schuler with a 1st and 10. Hayden and Mario Brunson will be his running backs.
3 wide receivers spread you from sideline to sideline.
On first down, it's Schuler's turn for a first down completion into J.J. McCluskey's hand. Defended by Al Jackson.
J.J. McCluskey is a walk-on. Didn't get a scholarship. Asked him last night why he went to Tennessee. He said, because my mama said to.
Being substituted for the wide receiver, shuttling the plays in for Fulmer. 2nd and 3. Hayden on a cutback. First down to the 44-yard line.
Excellent block by the offensive right guard, number 74, Jeff Smith. Here's Stoll, the big offensive left tackle. Actually, he has been a guard. He's the only veteran coming back. Here he is to the right side of your screen, number 59. He's doing a cutback wall-off block. See, trying to prevent him from falling back inside that play. Does a good job of walling him off. Mike Stoll, 12 starts at offensive guard last year.
Fake, will throw over the middle, complete to his crossing receiver, Craig Faulkner. And Greg Trimble there defensively.
Whenever you use play action, you freeze those inside linebackers. Watch the inside linebacker say fake to the tailback, freezes. That allows the crossing pattern. You see Faulkner, number 4, crossing behind the linebacker. What allowed him to get behind him was the freeze of the running play. They froze those linebackers.
So this young Georgia defense looking for a leader under fire from Heath Schuler. That a 25-yard gain. 1st and 10 Volunteers. It's the fullback, number 44, Mario Brunson.
Mario doesn't get to carry it very often in their offense. He's really a fine blocker. Last year he only carried it 24 times, but they run him just enough to keep you honest inside.
And you can see Brunson going off to the sideline as Stewart and Hayden in the backfield. And they can use Hayden as an extra receiver in this set, which they do. They send him out from the wing. Schuler doesn't see him. He'll keep it. Schuler is short of the first down, and Greg Jackson tackles him.
You know, the right-handed passer drops back looking to his right, and Mitch Davis was coming around to the outside, and he saw the top of your screen, number 58. See, he gets some depth. He sees him coming around. That pushes him up inside. See that right here? That pushes him up inside. Then he goes ahead and takes advantage of his running ability and moves the ball upfield.
3rd and 3 at the Georgia 24. Schuler sprinting to the right, throwing to a covered receiver and over his head. 4th down. Buster Owens was working on Corey Fleming.
Al Jackson, the other corner, was over there too, Brent, in good position.
John Bexford, this is 2nd attempt. This one longer than the first. This is a 41-yarder. Strong leg. Excellent kicker.
He gets it up there. We saw him in pregame warm-up, Brent. He hit him from 55 yards.
2 field goals by Bexford has the Volunteers up by 3. Georgia to return. Chapman kicks it off again for the Volunteers. Hastings had switched over to the left, and he'll just take a knee in the end zone, and it'll come out of the 20. Is he ever eager to show us his stuff?
He's a talented young man, Andre Hastings.
One of the most recruited high school prospect ever out of the state of Georgia. Notre Dame and Florida State came in hard. He appeared headed for South Bend. Then he decided to come over here to Athens because of his mother. She raised him as a single parent. It's a very wonderful story. She joined the United States Army to get enough money just to raise her child, and someday he is destined for a professional career. He is a hugely talented wide receiver. He is to the quarterback's left. Now the handoff is to number 32, Max Strong, his first carry of the game. Max, you can usually find some daylight. 1st and 10 after that run. Whistle. Free hand going down. Good one. Strong. Powerful runner, but this will leave him 2nd and long. Ingram tackles him.
Bernard Williams again.
First in motion. Zier gets his protection. Goes out in the flat to Hurst. Hurst may be just short of the first down. Let's see where they spot it. George Kidd was there defensively working on the scat back. We'd like to Fulmer, the interim head coach, as Johnny Majors recovers back in Knoxville. We know that Coach Majors is watching, and like everybody else, we wish him, Dick, a very speedy recovery and look forward to perhaps chatting with him next weekend when we go up to Knoxville. Now Zier, who has been throwing on first down. Hurst is open in the middle. To the Volunteer 30. Ingram had to go with him. A tough task for a linebacker. 1st and 10. Davis in the game. A spinning move on the right side. And that allowed Davis to reach the 17-yard line.
Terrell Davis is a transfer contribution through the year.
Staying in there with Max Strong in the backfield. Moved movement on the left side of Zier.
Yeah, I might move early myself.
1st and 15 after the penalty. Davis hit by Surlis. Both offenses, Dick, excuse me, but both offenses are having trouble getting into the end zone. They've moved the ball well.
Well, you know, the closer you get to the end zone, the fewer yards that defense has to defend. So they tighten up everything. They have come with some linebacker dogs down in these areas, both teams, to try to slow you down and throw you for a minus yardage play on an early rundown.
Here's a new look, a shotgun for Georgia. Inside lateral, and it is read perfectly by J.J. Surlis. Number 48, he was not fooled. While we have a moment, let's check in with John Saunders. Alvarez is ready for a big-time opponent. He's been improving that Wisconsin team. Zier is still in the shotgun, incomplete. It was 3rd and 18, and Graham, the young receiver.
Eric Zier throwing that incomplete. It was uncatchable all the way. And then, you know, that's a short pass, but the receiver is running right at you, come from the outside to the inside. And for some reason, college quarterbacks have a hard time throwing that one complete.
Now that was a dog, folks. 4,000 pounds of granite unveiled.
42-yarder, Brent. You know, field goal kicking dropped in efficiency about 9% last year when they took that 4 foot 10 inches out of the goalpost.
No good.
See, if they'd have had that 4 foot 10 in the goalpost, that'd have been good.
Andrew Chadwick is 1 of 2. And his counterpart, John Bexford, is perfect in 2 attempts, and that's the difference. For 21.
John Hadel. Ward even in the pros.
Now here's the young Tennessee quarterback out of North Carolina, Heath Shuler. The toss. It's Stewart. Stuffed at the 24 by Tremble. Down we go to Julie Moran. Julie?
To it was to be a graduate assistant. Goff, I told Goff he ought to get him a full-time man, but he said no, he wanted to do it that way.
Well, what classes are you taking, Coach?
I'm going to take state taxes and taxation, and, you know, I do a lot of work in that field anyway.
Has it been a little tougher to coach the kickers since this goalpost has been reduced 4 feet 10 inches?
Thanks, Julie. A wonderful story. I should point out that Hartman could probably teach that class. He is a very successful insurance man down here in the Southeast.
Holding on the arm.
For the Volunteers. They lead Georgia 6-3 the score. The winner here will set off in pursuit of Florida. Florida the favorite to win the Eastern Division of the SEC. 2nd and 15 for the Volunteers. And Shuler will look for it. Sprinting to the right, he'll keep it. And he slides down at the 27. Tom Wallace wraps him up there. And tonight, a reminder, ABC Primetime has a comedy classic, the original Ghostbusters. Why not see it again? And then at 27 for Tennessee, James Stewart, the running back. And they hand it to him. Tried to fool the dog defense. Torrey Evans there defensively. And Tennessee will be forced to punt. Left-footed kicker for the Volunteers, Tommy Hutton, standing back at his own 16-yard line. And Hastings of Georgia waits for the high punt. It'll settle down at about the 22. And Hastings hit beautifully at the 24-yard line. You know, there are so many memories when you come here to Georgia. But how about this one? His first... the last time anybody ran over base. Garrison Hurst is now in as the running back. Zier on first down as Hastings. He stumbles. That cost the Bulldogs a touchdown. Tracy Smith able to wrap him up. 44-yard gain. Hastings in motion. And the toss to Hurst. There's a penalty flag down. Hurst to the 24, but the flag down. Against Georgia. Vince Hastings is certainly one of the most explosive players you've had at Georgia here.
He can stop and stall with the best of them, and he does have great balance. He's always got his feet under him, and he's ready to make a cut. and he hesitates and moves forward, and he's got that acceleration when he needs it. So he's a great running back.
You know, it's interesting that you and Tennessee haven't played each other that often through the years.
Well, it's been on and off. It doesn't take us long to get a rivalry going, but we only played 2 years, and then we're off for about 4. But this is going to be, from now on, and I'll assure you, it's going to be a rivalry. It's going to be a great one.
It was interesting to note how many folks traveled in here from Knoxville for this game. A lot of orange spread throughout the stands. Not as much as we'll see next week in Knoxville, but there's plenty of it. Now it is 1st and 20 after that penalty against Georgia. Sire over the middle, complete. Picks up his tight end, Mitchell. And Mitchell with a huge gain. Right now, let's check in with John Saunders.
Kentucky and Florida, another big day.
The Florida victory, as expected, over Kentucky. Kentucky pressed them a little bit early. So they go 1-0 in the Southeast, and they are in the Eastern Division. Now a first down on that pass to the tight end. Here is the toss around the right side. Max Strong, the ball carrier. Parker there defensively.
Big Bernard Williams, the weak side tackle. Did you see that, Vince? He jumped
Yeah, that's
outside.
a great shot of it right here.
Top of your screen, number 17. Wants to reach out. Now he turns it and hooks him. See, and just that can never happen to a defensive lineman. Willie Richards, number 94, knows that's not supposed to happen.
Hurst and Strong, the backs. 2nd and 4. Here's Hurst. First down, Georgia.
Does Hurst remind you of any of your running backs in the past, Coach?
You know, he's a good-sized running back, but we were fortunate for a long period of time, starting with Herschel, to really have some big
running these kind of guys.
Those cuts, hesitate, and then break off.
1st and goal at the Tennessee 9.
Coming with a
Sire
blitz.
to throw, and Tennessee's got him sacked. At the 15-yard line, Todd Kelly, number 58. The big play defender came roaring in.
Here he is coming from the bottom left side of your screen. See, he comes around the outside, number 58. They tried to cut block him. Alec Milling tried to cut him on that. And boy, if you cut a defensive lineman and go to the ground as an offensive lineman, you better bring that defensive lineman down with you. And he didn't do it. That freed him up. He gets the sack.
Volunteer player is shaken up. In fact, a couple of them appear to be shaken up on that play.
Vince, that's why I did not like to see an offensive lineman cut block.
Well,
maybe in a 3-step drop once in a while, but not very often any other time.
Not particularly with a guy as big as Millen is. He doesn't need to be cut blocking.
No.
Sometimes when you're small, you may have to do that, and you're quick enough to get under people, but not a big lineman like Millen.
James Wilson being assisted off the field. Here's the impact.
He's coming from the left side of your screen, number 72, James Wilson. And right here, bam, right there, they make contact right in the middle of your screen, helmet to helmet. That can be a headache.
Some of the biggest hits are from your own people because you're not expecting it.
Yeah, I know it. You're concentrating on that red jersey, and here comes a white one that decks you.
So the middle of that sandwich escaped harm.
Now, here's Kelly, Brent. You know, this guy won the state high hurdles, and he's playing defensive lineman, so you can see why an offensive tackle trying to pass protect that caliber of a rushman can have some problems.
Now, Todd Kelly needs to get back. They'll try to get him back in. This is 2nd and goal from the 15. Sire being pursued, throws an interception right into the hands of Mr. Talley, the linebacker.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. The pressure created the mistake. Sire is not an interception thrower. He became one on that shot right there. You see, they beat him underneath initially. You'll see to the right side of your screen. They got pressure on him underneath initially. See, now they flush him, and he gets out, and he makes a poor decision in throwing the ball down the middle like that. I don't know who he was throwing the ball to. Obviously, he had some kind of a screen pass called.
I think so, but he's certainly off balance when he threw the football, almost sidearm.
Yeah.
Really a bad percentage pass.
Now, Jerry Colquitt the new quarterback, Colquitt. He replaces Heath Schuler as the coaching staff at Tennessee, sticking with the rotating quarterback situation.
Now, he's not quite the runner that Heath Schuler is. Schuler runs the option as well, and his arm's not quite as strong. But they do think he's a talent, and obviously they're rotating him in there. They like it the way he plays.
Off the fake, Colquitt, and he is brought down.
Interception. Stats right now not very meaningful. Georgia got the slight edge in total offense, and they, you know, when they turned it over on that kickoff return, you would, boy, normally you lose a football game when you do that.
Yeah, that's a heck of a way to start, but it's great that the defense has kept them out of the end zone. Defense, Georgia's defense played a little bit better than we thought they would at this time.
Now Colquitt, and he almost gave it right back. That was Deshae McKeever batting the ball down.
He looked a lot taller in 6'2" that time. He had good long arms, and he got the good reach. He hasn't been playing.
Now it's Hutton punting for Tennessee. He booms one. Hastings forced back inside the 20-yard line. Hastings finds daylight. Fumble, Tennessee. That's the third Georgia turnover. Two of them on their kicking teams. They have fumbled the opening kickoff, and now the punt is Tom Hutton, the punter, hustles downfield.
Here's Hastings taking up. He's got his left arm, and see, they get the elbow out away from the body, trying to be maneuverable, and you can't see that guy coming up from behind you. Boy, I know, Vince, you feel the same way as most coaches do, and I know I felt that. You've got to keep that elbow in tight against the body to secure that football.
Yeah, a lot of them do, and then when they break out, they think now there's nobody around,
there,
and they came from the backside. That's what happened.
Big play by Hutton. Richie No stripped the ball. We'll take one more look at it as they strip the ball from Hastings. Colquitt still in the game, brings it on the option. Now the pitch to Garner. And the JC transfer stops short of the 40. Another look here, Dick.
Again, you see the ball in the right hand. Now watch the elbow. See the space right there? See the elbow getting out away from the body right here, and he's going to slip the arm in behind him. Come in like this, and he can't see that guy. Just like you said, Vince. You must have coached this game before.
He thought. Sometimes I take credit for it. Other times I'd like not to.
You know, I always hated to have receivers or people in those return positions other than a guy that touches the ball all the time and goes through running back drills and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes you're forced to do it.
On second and 9, the sack is
like him. Yeah. They're really, everybody's gone the extra mile to work with him because he's got so much potential.
Phillips and Campbell, the Tennessee running backs. Colquitt over the middle, complete to the Georgia 32-yard line.
You know,
Faulkner, the receiver.
People are playing a lot of this 2 deep and then going 4 across with 4 deep, and they're throwing that ball down in between those two safeties, regardless if it's 2 or the 4 deep.
Yeah, right down the middle.
Now on 4th and short, Tennessee uses a timeout. Tennessee, we'll talk about it. 4th and a long yard. We'll be coming right back. So they will go for it on 4th down. Georgia stops them. Mike Jones, number 9.
Doing it.
Did you really? I always thought it was a good way to get a coach fired. You know?
Normally right.
Now it's Harvey and Davis in this backfield. This is Davis for Georgia. Vince, one of the things I noticed that Ray had to do this year was go to junior college.
Timeout, Georgia.
So we've got a timeout. Georgia stands tall and hits strong. Strong breaks free inside the 30.
Flash pass complete to Max Strong.
Excellent call by Wayne McDuffie, the offensive coordinator. They used play action and booted away and threw back to the
ball at the end too, didn't he? 33-yard gain. And Zier looking downfield hits Mitchell. Mitchell breaks a tackle. Fumble. Georgia recovers. Hastings pounced on the loose ball.
The loose ball went right into Hastings. Mighty.
Now it's 1st and 12. Hurst on a cutback. And he spins at about the 8-yard line. David Bennett there defensively for the Volunteers.
You get down in here. This is when you wish your tailback was 225 pounds, like a Herschel Walker. You know, the big, strong guy that if you do hit him, he still gets 3 or 4 yards. Score if they score.
2nd and 6.
Looks like they're committing linebackers. They are.
This is Hurst. Battling to the 4-yard line.
Tennessee's defense may be young, but they are quick. Better to be young and quick than old and slow. Right?
About 100 to 1.
Yeah, about 100 to 1. One time I was visiting with Coach Wooden. He coached a little basketball in his days. And he always told me that. He said, better to have inexperienced talent than experience with no talent.
Amen.
Now it's 3rd and 3 from the 4 for Georgia. Here's Hurst sprinting to the left, turns it to the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
They get a good hook block right at the end. They get penetration, but he runs
He's in great position to make the play.
He should make that play. He'll be mad at himself.
He will be.
Todd Peterson adds the extra point. It's now 10-7. I should say it's 10-6. I looked up at that board. Vince, we've got to get that operator to subtract the point.
Wait a minute now.
First game problems.
There, now they get it straight. Now they get it.
Well, that's all right on the road, but when you do it at home.
That's right. Here's another look. Ben whipped up on Pat Hayden, though, Dick. You'd have been proud. Now it's Peterson kicking off for the Dogs. Ronald Davis, the deep man for Tennessee, will field it in the end zone, and he's coming out.
You got a hole.
Spins 30. Fine return for Davis out near the 35-yard line.
You give a guy like that just 1 or 2 blocks up in front of him, he can pop it. See, the wedge was formed in front of me as lead blockers. There's some kick out, but see, he has a man right posted up right there, and he runs right into the back of his own man. Not enough experience returning kickoffs.
Scoring the first touchdown of the game, Heath Schuler is back as the Tennessee quarterback. And this is Campbell. Deep handoff. He makes it to the 43-yard line. Dick, you were never one, however, ever to rotate quarterbacks. You think it breaks up the rhythm?
I just didn't believe in it. I always felt if I had 2 or 3 quarterbacks and they were all pretty close, I probably didn't have one good enough to win with. You know?
I think most coaches feel that way, but we had an exception in Ray Goff and in Matt Robinson. And we won a championship, so we can't argue with that.
No.
Tennessee. First down. Aaron Hayden hit by Chris Wilson.
Young offensive line for Tennessee coming off the ball. They're actually all offensive guards, what Coach Fulmer told me. And I watched him in last week's game tape, and they did an awfully good job of their zone blocking principles and their co-op blocking system. It's going to be a real good offensive line as it gains experience through the year.
That's a big offensive line.
Yeah, not real tall, though.
No, but they all do.
First and 10, Tennessee. A fake by Schuler, rolls to the left, high, and snapped down by Faulkner. So next Saturday, ABC's college football kicks off with a doubleheader, great regional action. Dick, you and I will be in Knoxville. What a dandy. Florida and Tennessee.
I'm looking forward to being there.
Some of you will see USC get any better than this. Second down. Here now is the handoff to Hayden. First and 10, Tennessee.
See, they get those 3 wide receivers on the field and spread you from sideline to sideline. And what they're trying to do is to get the run force of the safeties out of there so that that front 7 or front 6 that's left in there playing run defense has to make the play.
Brunson, the lone running back in this set for the Volunteers. Schuler sprints to the right, has an open receiver. It's Faulkner at the 15.
Did a good job of getting that ball in front of the rolled over safety. He gets his sprint out blocked by his wingback. That allows him to get outside. He has the lead blocked there by Brunson, and he hits it right up there in front of the coverage. Good job. See, that was a safety rotating over there, Greg Trimble.
First and 10, Volunteers at the Georgia 15. Hayden back in at running back for Tennessee. Hayden pounds inside the 10.
Looked like they had a big hole, then the linebackers filled it. Offensive line, again, coming off the ball. Getting off, knocking people off the ball.
Yeah, you're right. They're not a tall offensive line. They're rather squatty, but they are broad, and they have a lot of weight.
Yeah, you can see that. There's 284 pound the average, but see, 6'2". Yeah. They're used to having those two big bookends at 6'5" at each tackle, you know.
Now 2nd and 4, and James Stewart is the running back behind that offensive line. Stewart spins to the 5-yard line, close to a first down. Linebacker Torrey Evans hits him.
Evans and Wallace make a stop for Georgia.
See, now you'd think you're probably going to take 2 downs to make the first down at 3rd and 1.5. Down 10-6.
Well, that's what I do.
Me too. Since I'm up here, I'm right.
Hadn't missed one of them. I missed a lot of them down there.
Yeah.
Hayden and Brunson are into that full house backfield. They're giving a wishbone look. Stewart stays in the game. And Schuler. First down, Tennessee.
A little counter action and a super job of blocking by Aaron Hayden. They countered away from him, and he came out and cut blocked the outside containment. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You'll see to the left side of your screen, he starts to his right, gets people moving. They pick it up inside. Now watch, boom, right there. The left side of the screen, that was a running back, Aaron Hayden, number 24, doing the job that got him out there for the first down.
Now Phillips into that full house look with Brunson and Stewart carrying short of the goal line. Travis Jones stood up big defensively. Coming up at half on the Prudential Halftime Report, John. Over the top of Stewart for the score.
He looked like a high jumper going over the top of that pile.
He got up high.
You see, they come off the ball. They do a good job of keeping the defensive line hands down. See, there's no one hitting him before he gets up to his maximum height, and he sails on into the end zone.
And he had that old Tennessee twist back in the single wing days. When you went over at Tennessee, you always turned that body.
Really? That was before my day. You're older than I am, huh?
John Becksport kicks the extra point. So Tennessee regains the lead by 3. It's 13-10. Love to be here, and that's your friend Johnny Majors.
Yeah, I want to say hello to Johnny. He's my heart brother now. We've got a sort of a heart fraternity, and we visit on the phone. My brother Bill at Wake Forest also is a member of that fraternity. But I want to say hello to Johnny, a great friend and a great football coach.
And let's hope he is back before the season is over this year. I look forward to seeing him up in Knoxville next week. That'll be some scene there. Here it's Chapman kicking off. The Volunteers have regained the lead. Hastings and Graham again having a communication problem, and Graham's got it, looking for daylight. To the 25. Down we go to Julie Moran. Julie, who'd you find?
All right, Brent, I'm here with David Keith, and I tell you what, it's hard to catch him on the sidelines. You were pretty happy about that Tennessee touchdown.
Well, yeah, I'm happy about all Tennessee touchdowns.
You've had a long association with Tennessee, and I think you were an equipment boy way back when.
Yeah, back when I was a kid, about 13, 14 years old, I was on the sidelines. I've been on the sidelines since '67. My dad hasn't missed a Tennessee home game since 1937. Hi, Daddy, I love you.
And you don't miss a Tennessee game either, do you?
No, I shoot my television show on Friday nights, and I catch a midnight flight back to wherever Tennessee's playing.
All right, thanks for joining us, Dave.
Glad to be here.
Thank you, Julie, as Terrell Davis, number 33, finds daylight on the left side. Nice run, Dick. Off a fake. Now his receivers recover, and he quickly sprints to the right. Under pressure, throws complete to the 49. Evans, the receiver, but beautiful work by Eric Zeier that time.
Had excellent pass protection.
Straight drop. Again, the receiver covered. This time, Zeier will not get free. Sacked at the 45. Willie Richards and a penalty flag down.
Willie Richards was a JC transfer also. Won the state shot put championship as a junior college football player and shot putter on the track team. So he has explosiveness in his legs, and that's what you need to be a good pass rusher.
Strength and quickness.
You bet.
At any position.
Tennessee 45, and Georgia calls a timeout.
Situation.
Davis, the scat back. Zeier off a fake with time to the middle, and Harvey, the fullback, slipped out. First down, Georgia inside the Tennessee 30. First down, Dogs. Fumble. Zeier pounces on the loose ball. It'll be second down and probably 12.
He got on that quick. He threw an interception against South Carolina. And the way he reacted and made the tackle that saved the touchdown last week, he's got a lot of basic instinct.
Yeah. You get the ball up to him.
It's a tough conference, folks. You don't get a week off in the Southeastern. Second down. Zeier under pressure, down at the 40-yard line. Todd Kelly, number 58. Timeout.
Came around hard outside, and Bernard Williams, Todd Kelly again, that's his second sack of the ball game. Came into this with 15 career sacks. Here he is, right side of your screen. See, the tackle a little slow getting out of his stance right there. He's working around right to the outside, and he beats him hard to the outside. He almost has to tackle him if he's going to prevent that sack. So you've got to stretch that defensive rushman and push him further out away from the quarterback.
I almost think on a most obvious passing situation, you ought to be squatted back.
Yeah.
So you don't have to raise back. A lot of them are very slow getting off.
Oh, yeah.
And Kelly will get a lick on you and go by you in a hurry.
Especially if you're 6'9". It takes a little while to get your shoulder pads up.
We had an opportunity, Vince, to talk to the young quarterback, very poised, and we asked him about what was difficult about taking over as a young quarterback.
Yeah,
the Volunteers have come up with plenty of big plays against him in this game. Zeier moving to the right. He'll throw for Hastings. He's got it! Touchdown, Georgia!
Safety man grew up a lot.
Yeah. Boy, when you have those young kids back there. He's a true freshman.
To the short man at the 21's Phillips. Running laterally. Down. Time for a play.
7 seconds. Tennessee does have 2 timeouts left. They liable to get off 2 plays. Sometimes coaches, Vince, will elect, and you know, and I've done it, elect not try anything fancy right here. They just had a big play go against them the other way. Try not to do anything stupid. Let the clock run out and come out and play football in the second half.
I think in fact, they're lined up in that. Just to drop up down to the ball. The quarterback will probably go down.
So that'll wrap it up, Vince. But we have an opportunity. I want to thank you for dropping by.
Oh, thank you. Great ball game. I'm going back and watch it.
All right. side, the Volunteers and the Bulldogs. It's 17-13. Georgia with a halftime lead, and John Saunders is coming up with scores and highlights. ABC News special hurricane to David Brinkley. Second half of the Georgia Bulldogs and the Tennessee Volunteers. And Dick Vermeil, how about the numbers from the first half?
Well, Georgia has dominated the numbers by over 150 yards in total offense, and their defense has played real well. When the offensive team has turned the ball over 3 times like they have, and they dominate the statistics and are leading the football game, you've got to give the credit to the defensive team.
There are the leaders.
13 for 15. That's an outstanding first half.
Hastings with a 40-yard reception for the biggest play, and that gave the Dogs the lead. Peterson to kick it off to start the second half. Ronald Davis back deep for the Volunteers. Davis at the goal line. Out of bounds, short of the 30-yard line. That was Randall Godfrey, freshman linebacker. You'll hear that name often down here in Athens in the next few years. He was one of the most highly recruited youngsters in the South. Ray Goff landing the prize linebacker. So it will be Heath Shuler, number 21, leading the Volunteer attack here in the second half. Shuler threw only 5 times, but he was on the mark, wasn't he? Now the toss play is to Garner. Garner, very quick, cuts across the 35-yard line and wrapped up by Greg Jackson.
You said very quick. He's the fastest man in that backfield. And talking with the coaching staff last night, David Cutcliffe said that Garner can really take the ball the distance. He has 4.340 speed. He ran for 2,000 yards his first year in junior college. Second year in JC was banged up, didn't have as good a year, but a solid and fast running back.
Brunson, the short man. First down, Tennessee. Clemens on the tackle.
See, they come back with Heath Shuler. Now, he's the quarterback that directed the long scoring drive for Tennessee, and I personally like to see him just stay in there and let him go and let him grow and gain confidence with this young offensive football team.
So it's your feeling in the quarterback controversy, pick the young man and go with it.
Go with him. Stay with him. Of course, I don't see him every day in the practice field, Brent, but what I've seen on the field, that's what I do.
First and 10, Tennessee. And breaking free was Garner, but the second and third men, Mike. Play fake, Shuler, deep, incomplete. Greg Trimble was on Craig Faulkner.
See, that's what you would like as a defensive secondary coach, your safety to do when a ball is thrown.
Strap on his helmet. Garner still the running back. Shuler fire. Incomplete. Mike Jones delivered the blow.
Holy.
Hastings waits. At the 26 and tackled immediately by Willie Richards, who got downfield. Number 94 with excellent coverage for the Volunteers. Georgia leading it by 4. Their first series here in the second half. Sophomore quarterback Eric Zier.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Tennessee defensive people, led by Larry Marmee, to come with some rundown blitzes on these first downs to try to stop them from running because they ran so well in that first half.
Garrison Hurst is the scat back. It's the initial call here in the second half for Georgia. Squirts to the 30. Ingram. Again, short of a first down. George Kidd brought him down.
Good linebacker play by George Kidd that time, Brent. He stayed at home. They came back to him, and he went up and he took on the blocker, then made the tackle as well.
Georgia.
Looks like they change up the defensive front. They did, and they're audibling. They saw it. It's a bare front now, Brent.
Desire to throw on it, had time, incomplete. Wanted Hastings and was short with the throw. Punt time for Georgia.
I think that's the first time they've used that defense. That's an 8-man front defense. Really tough to run against, and it's tough to pass protect against if you're not prepared for it. Fortunately now, Georgia, they saw it, they audible, but they still threw the inaccurate pass.
Now here is Scott Armstrong. He underwent knee surgery. Makes the fair catch at the 31. A penalty flag down back at the line of scrimmage.
You know, as much as Georgia has dominated the game in the first half statistically, the Tennessee has still got to feel they're only one play out of it at 17-13, and just take their time and methodically move the football and run it, mix in that play action pass on the early down. Penalty going against.
1st and 10. Like Dick Vermeil said, they're only one play out of the lead. Hayden and Brunson are the Tennessee running backs. Schuler, the quarterback. Here's Hayden behind the right side to the 24-yard line and into the arms of Tom Wallace.
You know, sometimes as a coach on the sideline and you see that big play like before the half for the touchdown, and it looms in your mind and you keep it there, and it distorts really the total picture of the football game. One play out of it.
So the Wolverines and the Irish settle for a tie, and Florida heads to Knoxville after beating Kentucky. 2nd down. Here is the toss to Hayden. Strikes it out and out of bounds. Hit by Chris Wilson. Number 17-13. 3rd and 8. Schuler with time. Receivers covered. And he is smacked down with Greg Jackson leading the way. And Mitch Davis also there.
They had a pretty good serve. Nice punt. Wow.
Hastings from the 30. Hastings straight up the middle. Explodes at the 40. The 30. Andre Hastings.
That was a good punt, a high punt. It should be better covered than that. It was
Chevrolet most valuable player from each of these schools. 22 years. Chevrolet has been handing out scholarships of $1,000, and they will again here this afternoon.
Blitz.
Zaire fires. It's intercepted by Tennessee. Tracy Smith out at midfield.
See, they read the blitz. In man-to-man coverage and blitz coverage, you're normally going to try to take away any inside move. He read it all the way. They threw the slant. He jumped the slant, went in and dissected the ball. You'll see it from the left side of your screen. He sees the blitz. You'll see the linebackers coming inside. See, they're picked up properly. Good protection. He throws it. The corner played it perfectly. He jumped it inside, doing what he's supposed to do. Max Strong, 32, comes over and makes the tackle, and then he springs out of it. 4th Georgia turnover, and they're leading. Really tough to do.
But only by 4. Tennessee at midfield. Stewart, the running back. Schuler on 1st down, almost gave it right back. That was Chris Wilson in that secondary. 2nd and 10. Schuler under pressure, runs away from it to the 43-yard line. He felt the backside pressure and eluded it. Watch as Mitch Davis comes in pursuit.
This is a blown pass protection. Nobody comes out there to pick him up. There's got to be somebody on him. See, that was a mistake all the way. Fortunately, he felt him coming, and it goes ahead and advances the football. Mistaken protection.
So the young man from Bryson City, North Carolina, makes the best of a tough situation. Now it is 3rd down and 3. Schuler sprinting to the left. Fires runs for the first down for the Volunteers. That was Craig Faulkner. Out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
He did a real nice job here. See, you've got up tight coverage right now, and they run him down here to the out against the safety on rollout. See, now they had pressure on him last time. Now he comes out in the rollout, and you'll see the man break to the corner on the safety. Good job of throwing the ball on the run.
Tennessee with a couple of big plays. That one on 3rd and 3. Now it's 1st and 10 for the Volunteers. Stewart, short of the 20-yard line.
You know, for some reason, Tennessee has abandoned their option game that they ran a lot of last week in their ball game against South Louisiana. And the option game sometimes it freezes that defense a little bit and also restricts some of the things you can do with your coverages.
Now 2nd down at the Georgia 23. Schuler off a fake, coming to the right side. Open man, and he hits him at the 12. And out, that's McCluskey.
You can see they use negative blocking. They pull linemen away and then send the quarterback out to give the defense a misread. See, now that's why there's no rushman. They're playing the run to go the other way, and he comes out. Good call offensively.
So it's a 1st down for Tennessee at the Georgia 12-yard line. Stewart and Brunson, the running backs. Schuler changes up. Stewart on a cutback into the middle, plows to the 5-yard line.
I think that Schuler looked up and saw the safety walked out in the slot out there, and the linebacker, outside linebacker, looser. So they're defensing the run with 6 people rather than 7, and he audibled to the isolation run play up inside. Good job of quarterbacking.
Torrey Evans, young high school athletes to come along in some time. Randall Godfrey now replaces the injured Evans. He comes in on a 2nd and 3, a freshman. James Stewart is the Tennessee running back. They're at the Georgia 5, and slicing underneath and making the stop. Pressure on the boundary.
The last time he did it, he was out there really well. And plus, if you do sprint out, you're away from the rush. And secondly, if you can't throw, you're in a position maybe to turn up and run for that 1st down. You have more options when you roll out down this area.
Now, Philip Fulmer, who is the interim head coach, was the offensive coordinator. He also at one time was an offensive guard at Tennessee, and he's been an assistant coach under Johnny for 13 years, so he knows this program very well. While they're talking, let's quickly take you through a scoring summary in case you joined us late. Tennessee went ahead on that field goal 3-0 back in the 1st quarter. Then Georgia tied it. Chadwick responded with a 32-yarder. Tennessee kicked the 2nd field goal by Bexport. It was 6-3. Then the touchdowns. Hurst from 4 yards out for Georgia. It was 10-6. Tennessee got one from James Stewart. They led it. Then it was the 40-yarder to Hastings, 17-13. That's where we are right now. Here's Schuler sprinting to the left. He's to the 3, and it's going to be close. I think he's short of the 1st down, but let's wait and see. Greg Jackson was there defensively.
Hey, Coach Musburger, I think you called that one from here, didn't you? You said, let's see a sprint out here. See, but it did give him the option. They see they have to drop off play coverage. There should have been a man in his face right there to try to contain him. Good blocking at that point. He gets out in that soft corner. Maybe a 1st down.
They're going to go in this situation.
I'd go for it, and I wouldn't try the field goal. I'd go all the way. Try to make that 1st down.
You could actually sprint him in the other direction, which would be the wide side, would be over here to the right, and you'll get enough for the 1st down.
You know, Brent, I wouldn't try that. If I were them, I would line up in their tight formation. They put 3 backs in the backfield and give it to the deep tailback or quarterback sneak, one of those 2 things. But if you leave the line of scrimmage with a quarterback, you're risking penetration and a minus yardage play.
Folks, that's why he's a coach and I'm a talker.
But you were right last time.
4th and short, the wishbone look for the Volunteers. Well, neither left, neither right. Up the middle, first down. First and goal, Volunteers.
Quarterback sneak. Good old play.
Tennessee.
If you take a look at Heath Schuler's background, you can see why Tennessee loved him. He won the North Carolina State high jump title at 6'9". And in talking to one Steve Spurrier, we learned that when he was the head coach at Duke, he really wanted Heath Schuler to be the Blue Devil quarterback. He thinks this young man has some future. And right now, Schuler and the Volunteers have a first and goal. They trail it by 4. They're 2 yards away from the lead. Up the middle with Brunson, touchdown. Volunteers lead it.
Good offensive line surge by Bubba Miller there on the left side. Number 71 and Mike Stoll, the offensive left tackle. They came off the ball. Real aggressive, low, got some movement at the point of attack, got the block outside. Good, strong running by a 245-pound fullback. Last year, didn't score a touchdown, gets his second touchdown on the season this year.
Bexford. Good. Tennessee up by 3. As we go seesawing. Who's the top dog here today?
I've had a few linebackers that look like Uga. I liked them when they looked like that.
He lives in Savannah, Georgia. That's my dog's hero. They share the same vet. Yeah, oh yeah. Jake loves Uga. Here's the kickoff by Tennessee now. They've gained the lead, and here comes the young man. He's a whiz. Henry Hastings cutting free again. Every time he touches the ball, Dick, he's got to scare you to death if you're on that other sideline.
He's got the explosive speed. He's elusive. He can make people miss, and he's tough.
Well, they're only a field goal apart, and Dick, when you turn the ball over 4 times, Georgia has to be awfully happy about that.
Brent, I spent 24 years coaching football, and I always, and it can be backed statistically. You turn the ball over 1 more time than your opponent, you lose 3 out of 4 times.
Dyer hands it off to Strong. Strong to the right. Turns it upfield. Oh, nice breaks a couple of tackles, and finally is whacked by Victor Brown. Sure for the first down.
Georgia comes out unbalanced formation.
First down for the Dogs. Here's Hurst on a cutback. And he is cut off beautifully by Ben Talley, number 90. Down we go to Julie Moran. Julie?
Well, Brent, head coach Ray Goff wrote on the board at halftime, no turnovers, no penalties, no missed assignments. We cannot win this game if we don't do that. He just said to his receivers on the sideline, you failed your assignment. You failed with that interception. He's very upset with this team.
And Julie, if he told the receivers that, that means that somebody cut the wrong way on that pass. 5-20, and it was not Eric Zier's fault. Second down and long. Here's the toss to Hurst behind the right side of the line, and now the Volunteers are starting to swarm. Reggie Ingram was there.
They've gained a little confidence, and plus, you know, I think Georgia has gotten away from the direct handoff in the I formation, that lead play that allowed them to run that cutback. See, the toss, they get the ball back there deeply, but the tailback has got to watch the ball in his hands and not look at the point of attack.
Tennessee upsets Georgia today, folks. We better show up in Knoxville at Thursday. That'll be some scene for the Florida game. Third down and 10. Zier to throw. Has a lot of time. Goes deep and high, incomplete. Hastings was open. Now, I think Zier is protesting that there was interference out here in the secondary.
Incidental contact. If he'd have seen his tight end to the right side of the screen going down in there, he'd have had a big play, but he didn't see that. You'll see they run into each other right there. Actually, an offensive player ran into the defensive player.
Sean Summers back deep for Tennessee. High spiral. Summers at the 19. 25. battles to the 27-yard line. Philip Daniels bringing him down for Georgia. And Heath Shuler will bring the offense out again.
Brent, that was a real big defensive series for Tennessee. You know, they go down, score, gain some momentum, take the lead, and then the defense goes out there and shuts them down, doesn't give up the first down like that. Big defensive series. Coach Marmy's got to be excited about that play.
Tracy, Athens, Rome, and then it'll show up in Atlanta, the host city for the 96 game. Charlie Garner is in at tailback, takes the toss, looks for running room, and he is cut off by Randall Godfrey, the freshman linebacker.
He came into the ball game as a backup linebacker due to the injury of Torrey Evans. He's in there playing, and a true freshman. In fact, he hasn't attended his first class. Class doesn't start here until next week.
Pressure on him now as the Bulldogs need a big play on defense, don't they? 2nd and 7. Here's Evans, who was shaken up. The fullback gets the handoff, and meeting him was Travis Jones.
It's on it right now.
Third and 5. Shuler straight back. Incomplete. And coming up over the top was Al Jackson. The Tennessee is still punting the ball to Hastings. I'd do anything to keep it out of his hands right now.
This is a return type ball right here, Brent. That's a low kick.
Hastings to the 46.
Again, see, he has the toughness and courage to go right.
Marshall Faulk, 6 touchdowns in 2 games for San Diego State. What a start. Strong and Davis are the running backs. It's 1st and 10 after that return by Hastings. Excellent field position for the Dogs.
Run blitz, coming after him.
Gets it off, hits the hot man, is strong to the 31, and a Georgia first down. Zaire's cool when they blitz him, Dick.
Yes, they did. See, they came up and blitzed. They picked it up enough inside. Now you'll see the running back will slip.
Hastings just took himself out of the game for a play, and Bohannon now on the field. Zaire hands to Strong, and an excellent defensive play by Willie Richards, who's been all over the place.
They tried to run a draw trap, meaning that run the draw play, but use trap blocking. Get the defensive lineman to come upfield and then trap him from the blind side. Didn't work. Good defense.
Second and 10. Hastings is now back. He's up there at the top of your screen. 2nd and 10. Zaire looking to the right, under pressure and sacked at the 40-yard line by Todd Kelly.
Again, Todd Kelly, I think that is his 3rd sack today. Again, that is a coverage sack. Had plenty of time to throw the football, plenty of time, but no place to go. Good coverage downfield. See, he's got the ball. Finally, he gets there. Actually, as Zaire gets more experience, he'll feel that, and he'll just throw it away and prevent the sack.
Hastings is off to the quarterback's right. Jeff Thomas to his left. Zaire. Flush goes to Hastings deep. Juggled and almost caught on the ricochet. Tavio Henson sticking with the dangerous Hastings inside the 5, and there was some pushing both ways.
To the left side of your screen right here, now you'll see instead of coming outside, he uses a spin move and comes inside, and boy, that is really tough. Todd Kelly, number 58, see him come back inside there like that. Now he grabbed him, he tried to hold him, but that pushed him out of the pocket. Oh,
he almost caught that on the ricochet. Now the punt will go into the end zone off the foot of Scott Armstrong. It'll come on to 20.
Talk about being a close catch. Look at this. There's the ball. There's the ball. Good concentration on it. Good concentration. Good concentration.
Now it's Tennessee's turn. Coming out from the 20. Minute to go. The 3rd. We'd like to pause 5 seconds to allow our ABC stations to identify them.
This is WCBD TV, Charleston.
With Dick Vermeil and Julie Moran, I'm Brent Musburger. We're in Athens, Georgia, between the hedges, and Tennessee, a 4-point underdog, leading by 3 with 1:05 left in the third quarter. Charlie Garner is the Tennessee running back. He'll get the call on first down. Garner, with excellent speed, breaks out to the 36-yard line, and Chris Wilson there defensively.
This is why Coach Phil Fulmer and David Cutcliffe, in talking to him last night, said as Charlie gets into the offense, we're going to give him the ball more because he has that speed. He can start inside, he can cut outside, and the pursuit can't get to him because he has more speed going outside than they do coming inside out.
1st and 10, Tennessee. Again, it is Garner. Oh, and that time the defense was ready. Now Schuler pulls straight back. Has time, throws incomplete. His favorite receiver has been Faulkner, and Jones there defensively.
Good job by Jones. Again, playing zone coverage. See, and he can play that aggressively because he had help on the inside from the safety. Now you see straight drop back. You see Trimble, number 24, on the left of your screen there. He throws that in there.
3rd and 8 for the Volunteers. Phillips, the running back. Quarterback keeper, and Schuler for the first down. Breaks free. 40, 35, 30. Schuler out of bounds inside the 20. Finally pushed out by Mike Jones after a run of 44 yards. The quarter comes to an end.
A quarterback draw. Concentrate on the fullback standing in the middle of your screen. He becomes your lead blocker. He goes back, set. Now Brunson, number 44. Watch him get the block right there. Knocks him down, gets another block downfield, and here goes Schuler moving downfield.
And we will return with more after this word from our ABC station. 1,500 from up Tennessee way have come down here, and now they are in the end zone where their beloved Volunteers are trying to reach. Fulmer's team had a 3rd and 8 at the 40, a 44-yard run by the quarterback. 1st and 10 at the 16. Phillips, the running back. Schuler sprinting to the right. Throws for the end zone, incomplete. McCluskey, the intended receiver. Let's check in with John Saunders in New York. John?
Texas and Syracuse, 2 points.
Bruin today, John. Here it is, 2017. Tennessee leading by 3 and threatening. 2nd and 10 at the Georgia 16. Off the delay. Running back Phillips is finally brought down by Godfrey, and a penalty flag down at the 13-yard line.
Carlo Butler, the outside linebacker, read that nicely, attacked the play, then missed the tackle. Face mask penalty. Here he goes. He's running up there. There it is right there. You see right in the middle of your screen, number 54. That's Greg Jackson.
Very costly penalty. Georgia hoping at the very least to force a field goal attempt. How about the numbers, Dick?
Well, you can remember at halftime, Georgia had like 150 yards more total offense than Tennessee, but they have really closed the gap right now. You can see there's only about 85 yards different, but this is what's killing Georgia. -4 in turnovers.
And a perfect position for the Tennessee offense. Short yardage with a 2nd down after that penalty. They don't really want a 1st down here, do they? They'd like to move it even closer to get a 1st and goal or strike from out here. Phillips and Brunson, a big back attack. Schuler keeps it for the 1st down at the Georgia 5.
You know, that 2nd and short, even down there, many times you consider it a waste down. But I think that was a good decision. Not to do anything fancy, not take a chance of turning over the football. Right now, you have momentum. Don't do anything to lose your momentum.
You know me, I'd have thrown a screen pass.
Well, yeah, I know. You coached one game and won. It goes to your head.
So the Dogs, and they face that proposition here today since Tennessee already has the 20, don't they? It is first and goal from the 6. Phillips, Hayden, and Brunson. This is the toss to Hayden. He'll run wide to the right, and he's cut off at the 11-yard line. The Dogs were ready. Damon Ward.
You'll see they toss the ball to the right, and they get...
It is very tough field position. Second and goal from the 11-yard line. Schuler throws complete to the 4-yard line, but it'll be third and goal right there.
Boy, these are a long 4 yards when you get down there. Really a tough situation. In coaching, I used to coach offense inside the 20-yard line and really think I was doing a good job, Brent. Then I had to start breaking it down to where you coach offense inside the 10, then coach offense inside the 5, because it is that difficult to score from where they sit right now.
Corey Fleming, the receiver, and that is a tough 4 yards.
Watch out for the quarterback draw.
Timeout. That's because Ward went back and had mirrored the quarterback. They were ready for that call, Dick. Schuler walked up to the line and saw that they were thinking just the way you were.
Thanks for giving me that credit, Coach.
So with that timeout, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have 12:40 to go. And Johnny Majors, where are you when I need you? It is third and goal from the 4. This is a tough one. You be the quarterback. Schuler to keep it. Schuler for the end zone. Schuler for the score. It still worked. Twice on that drive, they face big third downs, and both times it is young Heath Schuler who turns the trick. First, he goes 44 yards on a 3rd and 8. And now, third and goal from the 4. He barges in for the touchdown. And Tennessee in the driver's seat here in this big one in SEC land. Bexford adds the extra point. 80 yards, 10 plays. 2 things happen. Tennessee moves further ahead, and folks, the Volunteers have found themselves a quarterback.
Doesn't want to go back to work.
He goes home, and Florida a winner. They'll be angry as a hornet's nest against those Irish who had to settle for a tie today against Michigan. Now the pressure is on Georgia. And number 1, Hastings, one of the deep men. The ball was falling as he kicked it. Along the ground, it'll be down right there at the 27-yard line.
That ball fell off the tee.
So, and it worked out all right. Let's check in with John Saunders in New York. John. Now here's Hurst. Sprinting to the left. Slips.
Fumble.
And fumble. But it goes out. Whew. Georgia already turned it over 4 times.
Right now watch, he's got the ball. See, it went up high, and he was sort of stumbled, regaining his balance, and he was using the ball to regain his balance. It gets knocked out.
Second and short. Hastings is to the short side at the quarterback's left. Zier looking in that direction, firing. Incomplete and almost intercepted by Tracy Smith again.
Good defensive corner play. They were in a 4-deep defense playing quarters all the way across, Brent, and they play action one way and threw back, trying to prevent them from getting free safety help over there. Real good corner play by Tracy Smith.
So Hastings, the big play possibility for Georgia. It is 3rd and 1. First, the Dogs have to move the chains, don't they, before they think about a big play here. And it'll be Hurst cutting back to the right. Hurst squirts the midfield. 45, 40, turns upfield. It's a big play by Hurst. Touchdown, Georgia. And instead of catching and running, it was Hastings throwing a block for the Dogs.
Chances aren't super.
Now sit with your odds right here with this much time. So Ray Goff gets a third down play of his own. Garrison Hurst, 64 yards for the score. 27-24. Peterson will kick it off. And they drive Davis into the end zone. He'll come out. 20, 25. Breaks to the 31. A nifty return before Randall Godfrey tackles him. And he does the rest. For Tennessee, James Stewart is their running back. He pounds to the 36-yard line. The difference. Georgia, though, has turned it over 4 times. Keith Schuler has not turned it over yet. Oh, he does there. There's the first one. Carlo Butler picks it off. He fumbled it back. After the interception, he fumbled, and it's Tennessee's ball. Holy cow.
College football, no better game. 28, Carlo Butler, right center of your screen. See him, he jumps. No one blocks him in a short set. He's right in position to blink, and alert offensive player. He swats the ball out of Butler's hand. He actually stole the football.
I think that was Fleming, wasn't it, who just reached in there and grabbed it? We'll get confirmation, but he just reached in and said, hey, man, that's our football. Where are you going with that? First and 10. What a play. Here's Schuler now on a handoff to Stewart. We've got to take a look again. Let's make sure this was the wide receiver. Watch this.
Butler has the ball in his hand, number 28, and there's Fleming. Yeah, he stripped the ball. Now, he doesn't even get in those defensive drills that teach him to strip, and now he has the football.
Second down and 8 for the Volunteers. 10:40 to go. Stewart, the running back. Tennessee 27, Georgia 24. Hold on. Now sprinting to the left is Schuler. Schuler to keep it. Schuler to the 36-yard line. It'll be third in a few. Mitch Davis bringing him down.
Mitch Davis kept a good contained position from his defensive end position that time and didn't let him just go ahead and float outside. Though I still believe they've got to get more pressure in the quarterback's face on that rollout with some kind of a defensive scheme.
Third down, 3.
It's third and 3. Schuler to the right, throwing for the first down, and great defensive play stopped him. That play for Georgia, folks, that Emory Hastings will have to do. If they punt it to him repeatedly, it has to happen.
You know, Brent, I spent 6 years working with as a football coach with Marion Campbell, a Georgia graduate. He always talked about football between the hedges. Well, Marion, I now know what you're talking about.
It is something down here. And more next week. Travel along with us to Knoxville, Florida and Tennessee. It doesn't get any better than this one. Wow, what a game.
Nice punt.
Hastings at the 18. Great coverage. Works his way to the left, and he's brought down at the 20-yard line. Superb coverage. That was J.J. McCluskey, the wide receiver. He's a lethal tackler on this. Hurst and Strong are the running backs. Georgia trailing it by a field goal. There he is again, Garrison Hurst up the middle.
You know, Brent,
Hastings in motion. Here is the toss to Strong. Could not outrun the defense.
Good defensive end play. I think that was James Wilson, number 72. Here he is right here. Watch him come outside. They don't get him hooked. He comes outside, plays it off nicely, work inside out. Now he just turned. There comes the rest of the people. Good play by James Wilson.
Strong shaken up on the play. Georgia, and he is out of that secondary. Now it is 3rd and 10 for the Dogs. 6:06 to go. Up the middle, exploding again is Hurst. Hurst scores! Garrison Hurst with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the day. This one of 17 yards. He's now rushed for 160. Tennessee's turn. Davis elects this time not to come out. A little too deep. Wise decision. Oh, yes, indeedy. Moving there with a little bit better step right now. The boys got the lead back. Well, maybe a little air conditioning right now.
Went out and did his stuff.
But here comes Heath Shuler and the Volunteers.
Richard Bell, the defensive coordinator right now, is thinking about 4 points. He just can't give up the big play. Mistake.
And Shuler makes the most of it. On about a 9-yard mistake.
That same principle right there. It was a mistake by the I think the tailbacks. I don't know, one of them went the wrong way. But the action one way and the quarterback coming out is just like an eye tailback making that strong cutback.
And a reminder that if time permits, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report featuring scores and highlights from across the country. That's with time permitting. 2nd down and a yard for the Volunteers. First down, Hayden blasts across the 35.
Brian Spivey, offensive center, came off on a good job on Casey Barnum. Casey Barnum fought him real hard and made the play go back. But they found that little crack again on the cutback. Here's big Casey Barnum, defensive player of spring practice.
Ball is at the 35. That matchup down in the pit. They get ready. Off a fake, Shuler. Down the middle, incomplete and almost intercepted by Ward.
See, earlier in the ball game,
he's got 2 games ahead of him. One in Tennessee next week and one down in Jacksonville. And they play Georgia later. Now it is 2nd and 10 for the Volunteers. They trail it by 4, just inside of 5 minutes. Shuler straight back. Drops one off. And it's Hayden to the 49-yard line. Trimble making the stop. It'll be a first down for the Volunteers, stopping the clock. Remember, in college football, clock stops on a first down.
Georgia went to a pure zone. Hayden was the one back in the backfield left. They ran all the other receivers off, pushed the defense off, checked him down underneath the linebackers and got him the football. High efficiency throw against a zone coverage.
That's the women's final. Monica Seles with a straight set win. And here Tennessee trying to come from behind. First down at midfield. Hayden sprinting out to the right to the 48, and Trimble bringing him down. And the dirt is flying here. It's Southeastern Conference football. You know, helmet to helmet.
This is Trimble's first game as a Bulldog. He's a junior college transfer out of Northeast Oklahoma, enrolled in the winter quarter. He's eligible to play now. He's made a number of good plays. He appears to...
Second down. 7 yards to go. Shuler has time, goes long and Incomplete as Al Jackson at the last instant came up over McCluskey.
Initially, he had him beaten, but I think it took him a little too long to get the ball off, get it in the air, and it allowed the corner, Jackson, to catch up. You can see that he had 2 or 3 steps on him, and the ball was a little bit underthrown, and Jackson, a good leaper, shows his ability to go up and get after that ball at his highest point. Here he is again. Look at it. Get up in the air. Good job by Al Jackson.
3rd and 7 at the Georgia 48. Schuler in the pocket, fires for the first down. To the 36, it's Corey Fleming for the first down.
David Cutcliffe, the quarterback coach who calls the plays during the ball game, doing an excellent job of mixing it up. But he knows they don't want to give up the big play. He knows they're going to be playing zone, so he's running a combination of zone patterns, doing an awfully good job of calling the offense.
Heath Schuler, a sophomore out of Bryson City, North Carolina. A fine all-around athlete, and he is calmly leading the Volunteers down the field. He has shown excellent running ability that allows the Volunteers to go with 1 running back a lot, because he's an extra weapon, isn't he? And here is the running back, Brunson. Across the 35-yard line, Mitch Davis there defensively.
You know, they run that first phase of the trap option right there with 1 back. They can't run the option because they have no one to pitch it. The quarterback could keep it. I would like to see them run the true option off that, because there's nobody out there once they're coming down that line of scrimmage.
Pressure on Goff's defense. Hayden, the running back. Schuler to throw. And he is blocked by Ward. David Ward comes up. Schuler blocked. Incomplete. It's 4th down. The Volunteers will go at the 2:15 mark.
I'm not sure. He was the guy doing the celebrating. Maybe he just wants the credit. Sets up nicely. Good pass rush inside. They don't get to him, but see, they get penetration. They knock the people, and the quarterback cocks his arm. Hold it right there. See, he cocked his arm. Quarterback cocked his arm here. He jumped at the same time, batted it down. Good job by Shannon Stevens.
Now it is 4th and 14, and if Tennessee ever needed a play, here it is. Schuler has time over the middle for the first down. Schuler calmly throws a strike to Ronald Davis.
Ronald Davis, the inside slot man there. You'll see him, number 1. No, he's on the outside, excuse me. Now watch it. They run a crossing pattern. He comes down underneath. He sees the zone. He deepens. And the nice thing he did in that, as he found the hole in the zone, he settled in it. As soon as he settled, the ball was there. Good job by young Heath Schuler.
A 23-yard gain. Phillips is the running back.
Turn your set off.
Sprinting out to the right. Schuler will keep it inside the 15-yard line. It'll be 2nd down. Shannon Stevens there. Dick, excuse me.
Excuse me. I was going to tell Johnny Major, you better turn that set off right now. I'm perspiring like I'm coaching. You can imagine if you're sitting home and in charge of the whole business.
The doctors may have already taken care of that.
I know it.
They may have pulled the plug on the electricity at the Major's household. What a game. Now 2nd down for the Volunteers inside the 15. They need 5 for the first. Coming out here to the left. Open receiver. He's got him. 1st and goal at the 4. It's McCluskey. What a job by Heath Schuler.
See, again, the defense is allowing the quarterback to get out there with nobody in his face. One reason that is, Brent, because they have him spread all over the field, and they're out having a man lined up on that slot man and no one in the quarterback's face. That gives him the time to make that kind of play. You'll see that he gets out there and no one's in his face. See, Davis tries to get there. He's blocked. There's no one there. No one to block.
So it is 1st and goal, and Schuler has found running room down there. Garner is the quick running back. Schuler keeps it. Schuler, touchdown. There's penalty flags all over. 2 flags come flying as Schuler barges into the end zone again.
The penalty, I think, is on the defense. I think they grabbed his face mask.
Yes. Touchdown, Tennessee.
The quarterback will step away, inviting the defensive rush to start throwing like he's going to roll out. Now he comes up back and frees it right there. You can see that he grabs the face mask right there as he counter moves and tries to get back underneath, and he does score. Well, we have 50 seconds left, folks.
A lot of time.
They drive 80 yards in 14 plays.
Super job of offensive coaching, Brent. Phil Fulmer, who coaches the offensive line, is the head coach today and coordinates the offense.
And it's nice to have an athlete like Heath Shuler directing it.
It do make a difference.
Yes, it does. John Bexford adds the extra point for the Volunteers. Their crowd behind that goalpost ecstatic.
One more look at a very, very crucial play. There were a lot of crucial plays within this drive. Again, he makes it look like he's going to roll out. Sherman 60 started to pursue the rollout. He comes back in there. Touchdown. Whew, you talk about critical plays.
Shuler ran for 16 yards in that drive and passed for 58 more.
And how many third down conversions in that? I mean, I don't know how many times you felt the drive was over, and all of a sudden, he completes the pass. And you can't fault Georgia for playing zone coverage. 4 third down conversions in that drive.
The big play was 4th and 14.
Oh, that was really critical. Whew.
Now, after the penalty is assessed, Tennessee will be kicking off on the 40. That is big because it figures to keep the ball out of Hastings' hands at least once. They cannot work a handoff or anything. He should be able to take this one deep in the end zone and let Georgia come up on the 20.
Georgia has 2 timeouts left.
It's Hastings from the 1. Hastings down at the 15, however. Excellent coverage. Scotty Gallion, number 93, got downfield on that kickoff coverage, and they stopped Hastings short of the 20. How about that? And they run 4 seconds off the clock. 46 seconds to go now.
2 timeouts left, and remember, in college football, you make a first down, the clock stops. Should be playing very loose zone coverage.
They'll send Hastings from the left slot. They'll use the shotgun. Zaire runs away from the pressure. Was he across the line? There's a flag coming out. He had crossed the scrimmage line. So precious seconds for Tennessee, and a mistake by the young Bulldog quarterback. The Volunteers closing in on a huge upset and an appointment next Saturday in Knoxville. Think we'll have any folks up there, Mr.
Oh, gravity.
Holy cow.
You know, it's hard to determine which the best city in the country is for college football, but when you talk about it, you've got to include Knoxville.
37 seconds to go. A loss of a down. Very costly penalty. Zaire steps away from the pressure, finds the open man, and it is complete to the 28-yard line, a first down. Time stops at 29. Brian Bohannon, his first reception of the game. They work without a huddle. The Dogs trying to pull out one here. 18-yard gain, 1st and 10 now. Hastings is on the left slot. Zaire looking to the left. Throws to Hastings. First down, he's free. To the 40, the 35, fumble. Tennessee recovers. Holy cow. The Volunteers are going to win it.
that was a coached forced fumble. I think it was Reggie Ingram that reached in there and hooked him and pulled the ball out. I'm not too sure. But the ball is complete, as you know, down in the hole. Now, Ingram, number 41, in the middle of your screen. See him looking for crossing patterns? Now, let's see if he is the guy. He comes up behind him and reaches it and strips it. See the ball out there? Now, no, it's not Reggie. It's George Kidd, 42, that does it. Woo! Look at Phil. Phil Fulmer said, hey, we got it.
Now Schuler to wrap it up. This was some performance by this young Tennessee team. They kept coming from behind all game long. We'll take a break and then wrap this one up.
Radio Shack is America's #1 electronics store, and with more than 8
opportunity, the Chevrolet most valuable players of this game, and there are so many. But we have selected the outstanding young Tennessee quarterback, Heath Schuler, and Garrison Hurst, the scat back from Georgia. He scored 3 times. And Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. This has been a game where Georgia has recorded 569 yards of offense and still is losing because of 6, count them, 6 turnovers. And Schuler will kneel down again. It's over. The Volunteers come to Georgia and upset Ray Goff's Bulldogs 34-31. For Philip Fulmer, the interim head coach. What a run that is. He's down there with Julie Moran. Let's go to Julie.
Well, Brent, I'm here with Coach Fulmer, and I tell you what, next week I'm sure you'd like to have a duplication of this game against Florida when you're at home.
Right now, all I'm going to do is enjoy this football game for the next 12 or 14 or 16 hours. It's a great effort by both teams. It was a classic college football game.
Coach, you had a little bit of a quarterback controversy going into this game and this season, but I don't think you have one now.
We didn't ever have a controversy. We had 2 guys competing for the same position, and that happens at every position. We still have 2 guys competing. There's one that has moved to the forefront. I know that Jerry Colquitt is a competitor, and he'll come back and fight harder and get better and make Heath better or win the job.
All right, thanks, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Julie. A little taste of straightforward, old-fashioned volunteer football. You bet. Our executive producer, Jack O'Hara. The coordinating producer of college football is Bob Goodrich. So ably produced today by Kim Belton and directed by one Drew Esikoff. They love coming to the Southeast for the first time. Technical director today, Doug Schmidt, had all the right buttons. How about them dogs? They hung in there. But it was the Volunteers. Old Smoky. He'll go back to Knoxville, the top dog in this one, folks. 34-31. Tennessee wins a classic this afternoon in Athens, Georgia. We want to thank our entire crew. So for Dick Vermeil and Julie Moran, I'm Brent Musburger. We hope you've enjoyed this one from Athens, Georgia, as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Next week, the land of the Big Orange, Knoxville, Tennessee. We'll see you then.
This week, 2 of the league's top guys.
For Eric Zeier, half winding down. Zeier on 3rd and 23 finds his big play weapon, Andre Hastings. Nice grab, 40 yards, touchdown. Zeier 240 in the first half as Georgia led by 4. Tennessee up in the 4th, though. Garrison Hurst bounces outside. Brilliant run, 64 yards for the touchdown. but 27-24, Tennessee still leads.
That's exactly why they throw so well coming back here late in the game, because they have that solid running game, that Garrison Hearst. So much explosiveness that when he touches the ball, it opens up the passing game.
31-17 Dogs at that point, but final minute, 3rd and goal. Tennessee's Keith Schuler on the counter play gets it in the end zone. 34-31 Tennessee. Back come the Dogs in the next possession. You see the clock winding down in the 4th quarter. Zier finds Hastings over the middle, but he'll cough up the football. And Reggie Ingram for Tennessee jumps on it. A gutsy effort by a rebuilt Tennessee defense. They go down there between the hedges, and they beat the Dogs 34-31 Tennessee under Philip Fulmer, the interim head coach, filling in for Johnny Majors. Now at 2-0, got to hand it to him.
Oh, hats off to Tennessee. I mean, this is a defense, as you mentioned, rebuilding. Only one starter back from last year's defensive ball club. 3 sacks on Eric Zier. Put a lot of pressure on him when they had to. They stripped the ball, make the plays. Johnny Majors recovering from heart surgery. Philip Fulmer has done an outstanding job with that ball club.
He's going to have to. Next week, Florida goes to Tennessee. I'm going to give you an interesting stat here. Okay. The only team to beat Steve Spurrier in the SEC, he's 14-1, Tennessee. This ought to be a dynamite ball game.
It was a big pasting 2 years ago, but the Gators big last year. Speaking of Florida, we'll check in with the Gators and Shane Matthews, who begins his
championship for Tennessee and Georgia. 27-17 Vols in the 4th. Garrison Hearst, beautiful 64-yard touchdown run. He had 3 on the day. This made it 27-24 Tennessee. Later in the quarter, 31-27 Georgia on a Hearst 17-yard TD. Heath Schuler with the quarterback keeper from 3 yards away puts the Vols up to stay. Ray Goff not happy. Late in the game, Georgia with Andrew Hastings fumbled. That was with less than a minute to go. The final Tennessee 34-31 turnovers. The story today, 6 for Georgia.
The good news for Syracuse going into today's game against Tennessee.
What we think will be a track meet between